Hello, so I thought I would go ahead and run you guys through how I make my sticker sheets at home. Now, I do sell sticker sheets on Etsy. I am definitely not a pro, or I guess technically, by definition, I would be a pro because I am selling them, but I would say I'm still a beginner pro, if that makes sense. I feel like I may not have the most professional way of doing this, but it's the easiest way that I found and it works for me. So I thought maybe it would work for some of you. Now we're going to be running through everything from images to printing to the type of paper I use, everything, so stay tuned. I went through so much trial and error, so much money and supplies and so much time to get to this point, so I'm hoping that this video will help eliminate some of that trial and error for some of you. Okay, enough blabbing, let me get into it. Okay, so I feel like the first thing that we should talk about is images, meaning what you're actually going to make into stickers. Now, if you're just doing this for personal use or for your friends and whatever, then you can just skip past this whole first section because this doesn't really apply to you and you can use whatever images you want. But if you are going to be selling these images online or in person or anywhere, you need to keep in mind copyright. Now, I have seen a lot of people with small businesses that sell stickers. I've noticed that a lot of them will just take images from online or Pinterest and use those in their sticker sheets. And while I don't think that the owners of those images are probably going to go ahead and sue them, they could. And that option scares me a lot, so I just like to avoid that altogether and do things my way and the non-copyright way. So the easiest way to do that is by creating your own images. Now, this can be drawing them, scanning them, taking pictures, whatever the case may be. Creating your own images is obviously the best way to go about this. For example, I recently started drawing the images for my stickers, or some of them at least. And to do this, I use my dad's iPad. Very professional, I know. The app I use is Procreate, and there is so many videos on Procreate and how to draw stickers. I am such a beginner at this that I'm not even going to get into the details of that, but I do use Procreate, and I don't even have a proper stylus yet, so this is what I use. But it works. If you don't have an iPad and Procreate and all that fancy stuff, you can still create your own images. You just do them the old-fashioned way by drawing them by hand and then scanning the images and using those. Another option is scanning. For example, this is one of my favorite ways to create stickers, and this is actually our most recent sticker sheet. And it is filled with different little images my mom cross-stitched by hand, and then I went ahead and scanned these images and turned them into stickers. You can use the scanning method for anything. The possibilities are truly endless. Some ideas that I've seen are using beads. I like to use vintage little like doilies and other little trinkets and patches and things like that I find and scan those and turn those into stickers. The possibilities are endless there. You can just let your creativity run wild with that. The next option for if you are selling your sticker sheets and you want copyright-free images is to go on copyright-free image websites. I'll put some links below to some websites that I've found. A lot of times you do have to pay a monthly subscription or yearly subscription to use these images, and a lot of the times you do have to still change the images in order to use them. It's very important to read the terms of use for these websites if you're using these images in order to make sure that you're using them properly. Okay, so now that we covered images and we have our images, let's talk about actually assembling the sticker sheet. So I have my laptop in front of me and I'm gonna go ahead and take you through this process. So once I have my images that I want, I will go ahead and copy and paste or upload them or whatever the case may be into Canva. And I like to first start out by laying out my sticker sheet. In order to make sure that there's balance in my sticker sheet, I like to start with the largest stickers first and then fill in the gaps from there. And the template size I use is just an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, which is the standard paper size. Now, if you're using a Cricut machine, which is what we'll be using later, this size is a little large for the stickers, but you can auto resize it later, which is what we'll do. Now, some little tricks that I like to do are upscale my images. If you have Canva Pro, you can do this. Honestly, I would highly recommend getting Canva Pro if you have a small business. It's going to save your tush so many times. Like, the amount of times that I use Canva Pro is actually ridiculous. One of the options in Canva Pro is the image upscaler, and this will just make your images look so much crispier and cleaner. And if you don't have the best scanner or camera, it doesn't really matter because this makes the images look professional. I love doing this for everything, like my listing photos, stickers, just random images I want to post. Like, everything looks better with the image upscaler. But I highly recommend doing this for your stickers because once you print them, the quality just doesn't always come out as crisp as it looks on your screen, and this just helps it look a little cleaner and sharper. After I upscale all of my images and everything is where I want them, I also like to add a little white border around all of my stickers. This just creates kind of a buffer in between your image and the sticker sheet for your Cricut when you're printing. I also honestly just like the way it looks. I think it looks cute with a little white border, but again, it just allows a little bit of breathing room for your Cricut, because if it's even a teeny weeny itty bitty bit off, you'll be able to tell so clearly without the white border, but with the white border, you have a little bit of grace, you know? Now you can add the white border in the Cricut app. I prefer to do this on Canva beforehand because then you have more control over how big the border is and the thickness and all of that. That's just something to keep in mind. Now this next step is only for if you want a background on your sticker sheet, which is what I prefer. I think it looks a lot cuter than just a plain white background. It does kind of depend on the sticker sheet you're making. So here I have one that doesn't have a background and it's just plain white, and then this one does have a background and it's a little bandana print. I think both are great, but I do definitely prefer generally for my sticker sheets to have a background. So how I create a background is I like to create one sheet on Canva that is my whole entire sticker sheet, background, images, everything included. And then from there, I will duplicate the page twice. The first page, I will delete all of the stickers and images on top and only keep the background. And on the second page, I will delete the background and only keep the images on top that I want to turn into stickers. Now from here, when I'm downloading them, the settings are different. So when I'm downloading the background, I'm just downloading it like a normal PNG. Then when I'm downloading the second page, which has only the stickers on it, I'm going to select transparent background and PNG, and this will make sure that there's no background on my images, leaving only the images and the white border. Now let's take a break from all the computer stuff and let's talk about supplies. Okay, let's talk about sticker paper. This is definitely where I had the most trial and error and wasted and spent the most money. I am very, very picky about my print quality and sticker quality and everything like that, and so there was a lot of trial and error that I went through, but down below I linked my Amazon storefront, which has the exact links to everything that I use, so hopefully you won't have to go through the same trial and error I did. Yay! So the two types of paper that I use the most are glossy premium vinyl sticker paper and matte premium vinyl sticker paper. Now there's fancier options you can get, like holographic and all of that, but today we're just sticking to the basics, you know? Now let's go over the quick pros and cons of both. So this is definitely more important if you're selling the stickers, I would say. If you're just using this for personal use, I feel like it doesn't matter as much, but regardless, these are my preferences. So with glossy vinyl sticker paper, this is definitely the most durable. I find that the images that I print on glossy paper look a lot cleaner and brighter and sharper over matte paper. No matter what settings I use or picture quality, it always just looks better on glossy paper. And I would just say that glossy stickers tend to look a little nicer than matte stickers, but that's honestly just personal preference. The downside to glossy sticker paper is, for some reason, I don't know why or what this is, I have seen this amongst different threads and forums and things like that, that it's not just me and other people agree also, but for some reason when you're using glossy paper, the Cricut has a harder time maybe scanning the images or something like that. I don't really know, but the Cricut has a harder time having accurate cuts when it comes to glossy paper over matte paper. So that's something to keep in mind if you're having trouble with your Cricut alignment. Another thing is that glossy sticker paper dulls your Cricut blade so much faster than matte. I think it's just because of the coating on top, but you'll definitely go through blades a lot faster. Now, matte sticker paper is where I actually had the most trial and error. It was so hard for me to find a matte sticker paper that printed crisp, nice, bright images. I'm so picky that I went through so many different types of paper. Now, just last week, I was printing my sticker sheets that I was making for the San Fernando Valley Craft Club, and I first accidentally printed them on the matte sticker paper that I don't really love, and in amongst the sticker paper that I don't really love was the matte sticker paper that I do love and prefer, and it is just night and day, at least to me. Maybe it won't be as obvious to you guys, but to me it is like a night and day difference. Just the quality, I think just the overall feel of the paper is a lot nicer. I do have like probably 200 to 300 sheets of the one that I don't like, so I'll be using that for other random stuff that I don't care as much about, but yeah. Anyways, I'm probably a little too passionate about this, but moving on. For printers, I use the Epson EcoTank printer. Now again, there's a lot of pros and cons to using this printer. I am definitely not a printer expert. I know a lot of small businesses use the Epson EcoJet printers of some sort. I know there's so many different variations and stuff, and for small businesses, there's definitely its upsides and downsides, so let's get into those. Now the upside is the ink. The Epson EcoJet printer uses refillable ink, and so rather than buying the cartridges, you buy bottles of ink. I even buy like this kind of off-brand one on Amazon. I'll link that one below too. And the print quality of the off-brand ink is still just as vibrant and great as the Epson brand one is. So I'm saving even more money that way. With the Epson printer also comes slow printing. Now for me as a very small business, I definitely prioritize the cost-effective option over the time-effective option. Because my business is so small, I like to save money where I can. And if it takes a little more time, it takes a little more time, but yeah. For example, when I'm printing a sticker sheet that is full full color, like full background, full everything, and I select the highest quality for my printer to print on, it takes around like 2 to 3 minutes to print one sheet of paper, which if you're printing a bunch of sheets of paper for your small business, that time adds up a lot. As my business grows, this will probably change, but for now, this is what works for me. So now if you don't have a Cricut and you just want to create stickers for you to cut by hand, you can go ahead and skip this next part of the video and just print your sticker paper and cut it out by hand. But if you're using a Cricut like me, let's get into the nitty-gritties of the Cricut. Okay, so again, I have my laptop in front of me and we're going to go through creating a sticker sheet together and all of the Cricut-y things. So let's get into it. Now, this part definitely used to intimidate me a lot, but once I got the hang of it, I realized how easy it is. So don't be scared of your Cricut. It's okay. So first I open the Cricut Design app on my laptop, create a new project, and first I like to upload that background image as a flat graphic. There's always a warning on mine, but that's fine, just ignore that for now. And then after that, I upload the stickers with the transparent background and upload that as a flat graphic as well. After that, I will go ahead and use the auto resize feature. This will just make sure that the sticker is within the center lines, which is very important. And then from there, I'll go ahead and just adjust the size and everything like that and make sure it's centered and where I want it to be just by hand. Now, for creating the sticker sheet, this is the easiest way I've learned. If you guys have any tips for better ways to do this, please leave them below. This is just what I do and what works for me. Such a beginner when it comes to my Cricut. Like, sticker sheets are kind of the only thing I know how to make with my Cricut. I definitely need to sit down and like really get into the nitty-gritties of my Cricut, but anyways, this is just what I do. So first I click on the background layer and I create a sticker. You'll see that you have two options, which is die cut or kiss cut. Die cut is cutting all the way through. Kiss cut is just that first layer, which makes it a sticker sheet, you know? So I like to use both of these features. So for the background layer, I go create a sticker, die cut, and then here you have the option to create a border or not. Again, I like to do this manually in Canva, so I'm going to go ahead and select no border. After that, I go to my sticker layer and I again create a sticker, but this time I'm going to select kiss cut, and again I created my borders already on Canva, so I'm going to select no border. But if you want to use the Cricut feature, go ahead and add the border now. Now, I know a lot of people like to upload their PNG images separately or individually, so that way they have more control over where it is on the sticker sheet. I just find that it's a lot faster and easier just to do it on Canva. I don't know, I found that whenever I was uploading each image separately, I was messing up the sticker settings and it was just like a lot more complicated, so I just like to do it all in one go. It's a lot easier that way. So now to actually create the sticker sheet, you're going to want to attach your layers, which how you do this is you just hold down shift, select both layers and click attach. This will just like lock the design in place and link them together. After this, you click make it and it generates the sensor lines. Now at this point, I actually like to save that image with the sensor lines as a PDF onto my computer. I like to do this so that way the sticker sheet that I'm printing is the same each time, rather than kind of like guessing and checking as I go every single time I want to print the same sticker sheet out. This is especially important if you're selling them and you're creating, you know, dozens of sticker sheets. I would suggest saving the PDF sensor line Cricut version on your computer. Now from here, this is, again, I had so much trial and error messing with my Cricut settings, making sure they were right, aligning my Cricut. Oh my god, the Cricut is such a pain in the butt sometimes, but once you get it figured out and once you get it aligned and everything, it's beautiful, but it's a big old pain in the butt to get there. So now you have the option here to send a printer or I've already printed. For the sake of the video, I'm gonna click I've already printed, but first I do have some printing tips. So now one mistake that took me like way too long to figure out that I was doing, when you go to print automatically, at least for my Cricut, it automatically selects add bleed. What it does is it creates a blurred line around the image that it's cutting out and it looks so ugly. I mean, it makes the sticker more accurate and everything like that, which is great for personal use, but if you're selling them, it just looks horrible and so ugly. Like you don't want that. Deselect add bleed because that's ugly, and we have the white border around it, so that does the same thing, you know? From here, I like to select use system dialog. Your computer will bring up the extra little print settings. From here, this is where I would save my image as a PDF, and when I'm printing, I like to go to media and quality and make sure that I am selecting either photo high gloss paper if I'm printing on glossy vinyl paper, or if I'm printing on matte sticker paper, I'll go ahead and select photo matte paper. From here, you also want to make sure that your printer is printing the best quality possible. For me, whenever I am changing my paper settings, it automatically updates the quality to be the best printer quality, but if yours doesn't do that, make sure that you're going in and adding that little detail because it makes a huge difference, I promise. This is where the most trial and error comes in, which is your base material settings for your Cricut. I'm going to go ahead and share the exact settings that I use in case you're interested. I feel like it's not universal and I feel like you have to tweak it and figure it out for your Cricut yourself. And down below you also have the option of the kiss cut pressure and die cut pressure. I like to do less pressure for my kiss cut just to really make sure that it's not going through to the other side. And yeah, from there your Cricut kind of takes care of the rest. Again, make sure that the blade you are using is sharp. I like to use the fine point blade. And as far as mats go, I like to use the light grip mat. I have also found that the way you put your mat in matters a lot too. I like to put my mat in with this little hook part facing down. I found that that creates the most accurate print settings. I don't know if that's real or if that's true, I don't know, but in my personal experience it makes a difference. Could be placebo, I don't know. But yeah, from there you load it and your Cricut takes care of the rest. And that is it. From there I like to use my paper cutter and chop my sticker sheets in half. Again, I'll have my Amazon storefront linked below with all of the exact items that I use in order to create my sticker sheets. If you have a sticker small business or a small business of any sort, or just like a personal art account, please comment it down below. I would love to go and check it out. If you have any other questions, comment them below and I will absolutely get back to you. And if you watched this far, you should probably go ahead and subscribe and like the video because that would be really nice and I would love that. Anyways, thank you so much for watching and I hope to see you next time. Okay, love you, bye!